stepdaughter that I raised as my own gets pregnant at 18 and expects full support on my end but proceeds to use her pregnancy announcement to give a speech on how she's lucky to be a mother after looking at her bond with me because she could never consider me as a real mother and how I would never get the grandmother status to her baby because blood will always be thicker than water. Now she's wondering why I'm no longer housing her and paying delivery costs after she simply stated her opinion. I, 46 female, have been in my stepdaughter Lily's, 18 female, life since she was 4 years old. Her biological mother passed away when she was 3 due to complications from an undiagnosed heart condition. I met her father, Rob, 48 male, when Lily was just turning 4 and we got married when she was 6. From the moment I entered Lily's life, I tried to be the best mother figure I could be. I never tried to replace her biological mother. I couldn't, of course. Rob kept photos of her around the house and would tell Lily stories about her often. I fully supported this and even helped create a memory box with items that belonged to her mom, so Lily would always have that connection. I was the one who nursed Lily through illnesses, helped with homework, attended every school event, made Halloween costumes, baked birthday cakes and did all the things a mother would do. I loved her like my own from day one. Rob and I never had biological children together. I had fertility issues, so Lily was our only child. I thought we had a good relationship even through the teenage years, which had their rough patches as expected. Lily graduated high school last summer and decided to take a gap year before college. She had her boyfriend, Jason, 19 male. Throughout her senior year, Rob and I weren't thrilled about the relationship. Jason seemed nice enough but lacked ambition and direction. Still, we respected Lily's choices and allowed him to visit our home regularly. About 2 months ago, Lily came to Rob and me saying she needed to talk to us. She announced she was pregnant around 10 weeks at that point. We were shocked but tried to remain calm. Rob asked about their plans and Lily said she and Jason wanted to keep the baby. They had already discussed it and while they weren't planning to get married right away they were committed to raising the child together. After the initial shock wore off, I told Lily we would support her decision. Rob and I discussed it privately and agreed we would allow Lily and eventually the baby to continue living with us until she was ready for college or she and Jason could afford their own place. I also offered to help with medical bills, baby expenses, since her insurance through Rob would cover some, but not all costs. Lily seemed grateful as she shared ultrasound pictures with us and I even went with her to an appointment when Jason couldn't make it. I started looking into what we would need for the baby and researched the best cribs and other essentials. I was nervous about becoming a grandmother so young, but I was also excited to welcome a new little one into our family. That all changed last weekend. We were having a small family gathering at our house to officially announce Lily's pregnancy to the extended family, Rob's parents, his sister, and her husband, and a few close family friends. Lily asked if she could say a few words after dinner and we agreed, thinking she would just formally announce the pregnancy. She started her speech normally enough, thanking everyone for coming and officially announcing that she was expecting. But then her tone shifted. She began talking about how excited she was to experience real motherhood and how lucky she was to be a real mother to her baby. She looked directly at me and said something about how she was grateful for everything I had done for her over the years, but it made her realize how she didn't want her baby to have the kind of relationship she had with me. She said her child would have a real mother and that she was thankful for that. She continued by saying that while she appreciated me trying to be a mother figure, blood is thicker than water and she had always felt the absence of her biological mother. Then she turned to Rob's mother and said she was excited for her to be a real grandmother to the baby. She never explicitly said I wouldn't be considered a grandmother, but the implication was clear when she mentioned only Rob's mother in that context. The room went silent. I felt like I had been slapped. 14 years of loving this child, raising her, being there for every moment. And in her eyes, I was just someone who tried to be a mother but wasn't real enough. I excused myself from the table and went to our bedroom. I heard Rob asking everyone to give us some space and the gathering broke up shortly after. Rob came to check on me and was furious with Lily. He said he would talk to her, but I asked him not to that night. I needed time to process what had happened. The next morning, Lily acted like nothing had happened. She asked if I could drive her to a doctor's appointment later that week since Jason had to work. I told her I couldn't, which was a lie. I just couldn't face being in a car with her after what she had said. Rob had a stern conversation with her that day. He told her how hurtful her comments were and how I had been nothing but a loving mother to her for most of her life. Lily's response floored us both. She said she was just stating her opinion and that she can't help how she feels. She said I was overreacting and being overly sensitive. She didn't apologize or show any remorse. That was when something in me just broke. All these years I thought we had a real mother-daughter bond despite not being biologically related, but clearly that wasn't how she saw it at all. After discussing it with Rob, I made a decision. I told Lily that since I was not a real mother to her, I would no longer be paying for her delivery costs or any baby expenses. And since she was 18 and legally an adult, she needed to find her own housing arrangements. Rob backed me up on this decision, though he did tell her that if she genuinely apologized and showed understanding of why her words were hurtful, we could revisit the situation. But Lily doubled down. She accused us of being petty and trying to punish her for expressing her feelings. She said we were being cruel to kick out a pregnant woman and that we were threatening her and her baby's well-being. I clarified that we weren't kicking her out immediately. She had 30 days to make arrangements, which is the legal requirement in our state for ending a tenancy, even though she doesn't pay rent. And Rob made it clear that we weren't abandoning her completely. She was still on his health insurance and he would still help with some expenses. But my additional financial support and the offer to live with us indefinitely were withdrawn. Now, Lily is staying with Jason's parents temporarily while looking for an apartment. She's been posting on social media about how cruel and heartless I am for abandoning her when she needs me most just because she stated an opinion. Some of Rob's family members think I'm being too harsh and that I should forgive her because she's young, pregnant, and emotional. They think I should be the bigger person and let her move back in. But I can't bring myself to do that right now. Those words cut too deep. I've spent almost my entire adult life raising this girl as my own, only to find out she never really saw me as her mother. Am I being unreasonable here? Should I just swallow my hurt and let her come back home? Or am I justified in withdrawing the extra support I offered? I truly don't know if I'm a ITA in this situation anymore. Update 1. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has taken the time to comment, offer support, and share advice. I've read every single message even if I haven't been able to respond to them all. Knowing that there are people out there who understand what I'm going through and who genuinely care has been such a comfort. It's really helped me process everything that has been happening. The last couple of days have been overwhelming to say the least. Rob has been absolutely amazing through all of this. He's truly been my rock. He's been checking in on me constantly, making sure I'm okay and doing his best to navigate the situation with Lily in a way that keeps things from spiraling even further. He's also been talking to Lily every day, trying to help her see why her words and actions have been so hurtful. Unfortunately, she's still being incredibly stubborn about it. Yesterday, Lily called me. I hesitated before picking up because honestly, I wasn't sure I was ready to talk to her yet. But I figured I should at least hear what she had to say. I was hoping for some kind of real apology or at least an acknowledgement that she had hurt me. Instead, it was one of those classic non-apologies. She said something along the lines of, "I'm sorry you took what I said the wrong way, and I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but that's just how I feel." It felt like she was just going through the motions, trying to smooth things over without actually addressing the real issue. I told her as calmly as I could that until she could truly understand why her words were disrespectful and hurtful, especially after everything we've been through together, I needed some space. Later that day, Rob's mom came over. And I was worried she might try to convince me to let Lily come back home or pressure me into overlooking what had happened, but to my surprise, she was actually on my side. She told me that she had been shocked and deeply disappointed by what Lily said at the dinner and that she'd been trying to talk some sense into her ever since. Then, she dropped a piece of information that I wasn't expecting. Apparently, Lily has recently been spending a lot of time with her biological mother's sister, her aunt. This woman hasn't really been in the picture for most of Lily's life because she lived across the country, but she moved to our area about a year ago and reconnected with Lily. According to Rob's mom, this aunt has been telling Lily all kinds of stories about her biological mother and in doing so, may have planted the idea that I was trying to replace her mother or erase her memory. When I brought this up to Rob later, he admitted that he knew Lily had been seeing her aunt, but didn't think much of it at the time. He actually thought it was a good thing, believing it would help Lily feel more connected to her mother's side of the family. Now in hindsight, we both wonder if this aunt has been influencing Lily's perception of me and encouraging her to push me away. It certainly explains the sudden change in attitude. On one hand, I can understand why Lily would be drawn to this connection, especially now that she's pregnant. She's probably thinking more about her own mother than she has in years and wondering what her mom would have wanted for her. But on the other hand, she's 18 years old. She should be able to form her own opinions and recognize when someone is trying to manipulate her. The fact that she's allowing someone else's words to override everything she knows about me, everything I've done for her, is incredibly painful. Later that evening, Jason's mom called me. Apparently, Lily has been complaining nonstop about how unfair we're being, but Jason's mom doesn't see it that way at all. She told me that she and her husband have already agreed to let Lily and Jason stay with them for a little while, but they simply don't have the space to keep them there long-term once the baby arrives. She also mentioned that she's been encouraging Lily to start thinking about getting a job, saving money for her own apartment, but Lily hasn't been very receptive to that idea yet. Hearing all of this makes me feel a mix of emotions. I'm still so hurt by what Lily said and how she's treated me, but I'm also worried about her future and more importantly the baby's future. No matter how angry or disappointed I am, I don't want her or the baby to struggle. I've been considering setting up a savings account specifically for baby-related expenses, something that Lily wouldn't have direct access to, but that could be used to make sure the baby has everything it needs. In that way, I can continue supporting my grandchild without enabling Lily's entitled behavior. I haven't made a final decision on this yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. Rob and I also made an appointment with a therapist. We're hoping they can help us figure out the best way to handle this situation moving forward. Right now, I feel like I'm stuck between wanting to work towards reconciliation and needing to establish firm boundaries. I don't want to just act on emotion and make things worse. So I'm hoping therapy will give us some clarity on how to navigate this in a way that's healthy for everyone involved. At the end of the day, I still don't know if I'm handling this the right way. I keep guessing myself, wondering if I was too harsh or if I should have done things differently. But for now, I'm just focusing on taking things one step at a time, trying to stay level-headed, making decisions that I feel are best for my family. I'll update again if anything significant happens. Update 2. I don't know how things got to this point so fast, but here we are. It feels like everything just spiraled and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. After my last update, Rob decided to show Lily some of the comments on my post, hoping it might help her understand just how hurtful her words had been. He asked for my permission and I agreed, thinking maybe seeing outside perspectives would make her reflect on everything a little more. But instead of taking a step back and reconsidering, Lily completely flipped out. She was furious that I had aired our dirty laundry online and that I was turning strangers against her. She felt betrayed, like we had ganged up on her and nothing we said could make her see that this wasn't about shaming her. It was about making her realize the impact of her actions. The very next day something even more unexpected happened. Lily's biological mother's sister, let's call her Monica, showed up at our house completely unannounced. I had never been close to Monica and honestly she hadn't really been present in Lily's life at all, so her sudden appearance was a shock. She demanded to speak with both Rob and me and despite my gut telling me this wasn't going to go well, Rob decided to let her in. From the moment she sat down, Monica was on the attack. She accused us of abandoning Lily at a time when she needed us most and went on a rant about how I had supposedly spent years trying to erase Lily's biological mother's memory. That accusation cut deep because I knew it wasn't true. I had done everything I could to make sure Lily had ways to remember and honor her mother. There were memory boxes, photo albums, stories we told her, and annual visits to her mother's grave. None of that had ever been hidden from Lily, and Rob made sure to defend me fiercely on that point. Rob turned the question back on Monica and asked where she had been all these years if she was so concerned about Lily's well-being. If she really cared, why hadn't she made any effort to be around? Monica didn't have a solid answer for that. She muttered something about circumstances keeping her away, but said that she was here now and wanted to be a part of Lily's life, especially with a new baby on the way. Then she dropped a bomb on us. Apparently, Lily had asked to move in with her, and Monica had agreed. She said that since they were family by blood, she would be able to take care of Lily in a way that I never could. I was stunned. Rob was livid. The idea that after everything Lily would just choose to leave us like that without even having a conversation was heartbreaking. As soon as Monica left, Rob immediately called Lily to confirm if what she had said was true. And to our shock, Lily admitted it was. She told Rob that she had been planning to move in with Monica once Monica found a bigger place. When Rob asked why she hadn't spoken to us about it, she coldly replied that she didn't think we'd care since we had kicked her out anyway. That hurt more than I can put into words. That night, Rob and I stayed up talking for hours. We were both feeling a mix of anger, sadness, and confusion. On one hand, we were deeply hurt by Lily's actions, but on the other hand, we were worried. It seemed clear to both of us that Monica had an agenda, and it felt like she was using Lily's pregnancy as an opportunity to insert herself into the picture after being absent for so long. Then, as if things weren't complicated enough, Jason showed up at our door looking completely distraught. He and Lily had just had a massive fight. Apparently, she told him that she expected them both to move in with Monica once the baby was born without even asking how he felt about it. Jason was completely blindsided. He had been making plans for them to get their own place, a home where they could raise their baby together, and now Lily was making these life-altering decisions without even including him in the discussion. He told us he didn't feel comfortable living with Monica, especially since neither of them really knew her that well. Jason also mentioned that Lily had been acting differently ever since she started spending time with Monica. He said Monica had been telling Lily things like, "Your mother would have wanted this for you," and that Lily seemed desperate to fulfill these supposed wishes, even if it meant pushing away the people who had actually been there for her. Hearing that broke my heart. It felt like Monica was twisting things in Lily's head and making her believe something that wasn't true. Despite my initial reservations about Jason, I can see that he genuinely cared about Lily and their baby. He asked us for advice on what to do, and we suggested he try to get Lily to come to a therapy session with us. He agreed to try, though he wasn't sure if she would go for it. Rob and I also went to our therapy session this morning. The therapist was great. She really helped put some things into perspective. She gave us some strategies for how to communicate with Lily in a way that wouldn't put her on the defensive. She also brought up something we hadn't really considered before: the possibility that Lily's pregnancy was triggering deep emotions about her own mother. The therapist explained that sometimes when a woman becomes a mother herself, it can bring up unresolved grief or complicated feelings about her own parents. Since Lily lost her mother at such a young age, this could be a big part of what's going on. The therapist advised us to approach Lily with empathy while still maintaining clear boundaries about respectful behavior. She also expressed concern about Monica's influence and suggested that if possible, we try to have a calm, non-confrontational conversation with both Lily and Monica together. The goal would be to get everything out in the open and figure out how we can all support Lily and the baby in a way that is actually healthy for her. I'm trying to take this advice to heart, but honestly, it's hard. Big part of me just wants to step back and let Lily make her own mistakes. Maybe she needs to learn for herself that Monica might not be the caring, supportive family member she's making herself out to be. But then there's the other part of me, the mother part, the part that has loved and raised Lily for 14 years. That part of me is terrified. I don't want to watch her go down a path she might regret, and I don't want to see her get hurt. Rob is working on setting up a meeting with all of us, him, me, Lily, Jason and Monica, to try and have an honest discussion. I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I know it needs to happen. I'll update again if and when this meeting takes place. Right now, I still feel lost about whether I'm handling this the right way, but I'm trying my best to focus on what's best for Lily and the baby. Even if that means swallowing my pride a little, I have to at least try. Update 3. The past few days have been nothing short of an emotional roller coaster, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that has happened. The meeting Rob tried to arrange ended up being far more intense than any of us expected. And the fallout from it has left me feeling both hopeful and emotionally drained at the same time. Rob had suggested that we all meet in a neutral location so we could have an open and honest discussion about how to best support Lily and the baby. We ended up choosing a private room at a small quiet restaurant. When we arrived, Lily, Jason and Monica were already there, and the tension in the air was thick from the very start. I could feel my heart pounding as we sat down, knowing that this conversation had the potential to either bring us closer together or push us even further apart. Rob began by calmly stating that no matter what had happened, in the past our main focus needed to be on making sure Lily and the baby were well supported. I had also prepared a few words hoping to reassure Lily that despite everything I still loved her and wanted to be there for her in whatever way she was comfortable with. But before I could even finish my thoughts, Monica cut in, making it clear that she didn't trust my intentions and saw everything I was saying as some kind of manipulation. From there, the conversation quickly spiraled into accusations and defensiveness. Monica wasted no time in bringing up the claim that I had tried to replace Lily's biological mother and that Rob had somehow disrespected his late wife's memory by allowing it. I felt an overwhelming sense of frustration and sadness hearing these words, knowing how much effort I had put into making sure Lily still had a strong connection to her mother's memory over the years. Before I could even think of how to respond, the conversation took an even more unexpected turn when Jason, who had been mostly quiet until that point, suddenly spoke up in a way none of us had anticipated. Jason revealed that Monica had been making promises to Lily for weeks, offering financial support, place to live, and even to pay for her college if she would prioritize her biological family and distance herself from me. He had found messages on Lily's phone showing that Monica had been actively encouraging Lily to push me away, even coaching her on what to say at the pregnancy announcement dinner. As he laid out everything he had discovered, I could see the guilt and embarrassment written all over Lily's face. Monica, of course, immediately tried to deny everything, calling Jason a liar, accusing him of just trying to side with us for personal gain. But then Jason took out his phone and showed us screenshots of actual conversations that Lily had forwarded to him, messages that made it painfully clear that Monica had been manipulating the situation all along. The room fell silent as the truth sank in. Rob, after reading through the messages, was absolutely furious. I don't think I had ever seen him so angry, but he managed to keep his emotions in check as he firmly told Monica to leave. He made it clear that if she continued to interfere and cause harm within our family, he would take legal action to protect Lily from her influence. Monica stormed out, but not before making one last dramatic remark about how Lily was making a mistake and would regret turning her back on her real family. Even after she left, the tension in the room didn't immediately fade. Lily was visibly shaking, crying as she admitted that everything Jason had said was true. She explained that Monica had slowly started influencing her over the past year, playing on her emotions, convincing her that she needed to reclaim a connection with her mother's side of the family. It started out as simple conversations and gradually escalated into Monica planting seeds of doubt about me and my role in Lily's life. Once Lily became pregnant, Monica intensified her efforts, telling her that it was her duty to honor her biological mother's memory by making sure the baby grew up knowing its true heritage. Lily broke down completely as she admitted that she had been feeling overwhelmed and confused throughout her pregnancy. She had been thinking a lot about her mother, wondering what she would have wanted, and Monica had fed into those emotions, telling her stories that contradicted what Rob had told her growing up. It turned out some of the cruel things Lily had said at the dinner weren't even things she fully believed, just words she had been rehearsing with Monica because she had been convinced that this was the right thing to do. Hearing this was both heartbreaking and a relief at the same time. I had been carrying around so much pain from the things Lily had said, and while it didn't erase the hurt, it did help me understand why she had been acting the way she had. The conversation that followed was long and emotional, but ultimately it felt like a turning point. Rob reassured Lily that she had never needed to choose between her biological mother's memory and me, that we had always supported her connection to her mother in a healthy way. Jason admitted that he had been uncomfortable with Monica's influence for weeks, but hadn't known how to bring it up without upsetting Lily. He had finally reached the breaking point and knew he had to say something before things got even worse. After hours of difficult but much-needed discussion, we all agreed that the best way forward was to get professional help. Lily agreed to start attending therapy with us and Jason also committed to joining in. We also had to address the more practical concern of living arrangements. Since Jason's parents had already made it clear that they couldn't stay with them long-term, and Lily obviously no longer wanted to move in with Monica, we had to find a solution that would provide them with stability as they prepared for their baby's arrival. After a lot of back and Rob and I offered an option that we felt would help give them a good start. We have a finished basement that had been used as a home office and guest room, and we proposed converting it into a small apartment for Lily and Jason. They could live there rent-free until the baby was 6 months old, giving them time to save money and work towards getting their own place. The only conditions were that they both had to either work part-time or go to school, and Lily had to continue therapy. They were incredibly grateful and accepted the offer. Later that evening, Lily asked to speak to me alone. She gave me a heartfelt apology, expressing deep regret for how she had treated me and acknowledging how much I had always been there for her. She admitted that she had been manipulated, but she took responsibility for her actions and recognized that she had hurt me deeply. I told her that while I forgave her, rebuilding trust would take time. She understood and promised to put in the effort to repair our relationship. Over the past few days, we have been working on setting up the basement apartment and Lily and Jason officially moved in yesterday. Things are still fragile, but I can see that Lily is making an effort to show appreciation. She's been helping out with dinner, asking questions about the baby, and even invited me to her next ultrasound appointment. Rob has also taken legal steps to make sure Monica can't cause further problems.